it in the air to left field. That's deep. Back goes Chavez back near the wall, leaping, and he made the catch. He took a home run away from Roland, trying to get back to first Edmonds. He's doubled off, and the inning is over. Andy Chavez saved the day.
Eli throwing into traffic on the sideline. They're going to rule it a catch by Manningham.
Sanchez, corner of the end zone. Punt! For the second time today, Santonio Holmes on the receiving end of a touchdown. This one with 10 seconds to play.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC, and we got some big-time news out of the Bronx today. The hot stove in baseball is heating up, and with that, we got the biggest news we were going to get this offseason. Aaron Judge. He is still a New York Yankee, back with them free agent deal. I think it's doing it a disservice to call this a mega deal. But we'll get all into that in a little bit, but let me introduce everybody. Your host for today, Joshua Umahi, joined by Nico Weech, Corey David, and Ross Levine. Ross, the Yankee fan in the room. How are we feeling today?
I'm happy for Judge that he got his money, as he should after last year. But from the Yankees, they did what they were supposed to do. For the Mets, as of late, after the Verlander move, just nothing. They got Okatana, but just nothing.
All right, we'll get into the Mets moves a little bit too. But Corey, the other Yankee fan in the room, how are we feeling? How would you say?
You're a fake ass Yankee fan. That's what I said.
I hurt my feelings. Psych. I'm happy that Aaron Judge is getting his money. You know, I feel like this year, especially as far as like people getting their contracts, I felt this he deserved it like tremendously. And like me personally, I did have a little fear that he might be going, but I'm glad that they pulled it. I'm glad they made a deal and pulled this one out.
Nico, the Yankee hater in the room.
9 years, right?
9 years.
That's 9 years without a championship for the Yankees. I can probably count.
How many years is it for the Mets?
I've still been to a World Series.
When the last time you won a championship?
When was the last time you were genuinely happy?
When was the last time I was genuinely happy?
We're starting early.
You can't deal with him, Josh.
3 weeks ago, when the Giants were still winning.
Oh, man, the Corey-Nico rivalry continues. But yes, Aaron Judge, while Arson Judge signed with San Francisco, according to Mr. John Heyman. Well, can we start there? Can we just start there? Because after we got off the show yesterday, he tweets, obviously it's a typo, or maybe not. Maybe there's an Arson Judge lying around. But nonetheless, he tweets, Arson Judge appears headed to the Giants, deletes that, tweets again, Aaron Judge headed to the Giants, and then fast forward 10 minutes later.
My fault.
My bad. Oops. Oopsie. Like, I don't know. And then obviously you get the news today. He's back with the Yankees once again on a 9-year, $360 million mega deal. A couple of notes on this deal. It's the largest total value and average annual value free agent contract for a position player in MLB history. Now, Trout and Betts make more, but those are on contract extensions. This is the largest total value contract ever handed out by the Yankees organization ever. So this is a historic deal. The next largest was Garrett Cole's contract at 9 years, $324. You can have mixed opinions of how that's worked out so far. And the big kind of contrast between last offseason and this one, obviously we're in spring training. Rewind actually to February last year. The Yankees offered to Judge 7 years, $213. That's $30.4 million per year. Now, Judge turned that down. He was like, really? You're going to lowball me? Watch this. Hits 62 home runs, and now looks at the Yankees like, well, what are you going to do? I got a deal lined up with the San Francisco Giants. I got a deal lined up, and let me not even call this a potential deal. The Padres offered this guy $410 million. That, first off, where is San Diego getting all this money? Because they sign guys like Machado, they trade for Soto. Like, when did San Diego become a cash cow in baseball? I don't remember when that happened, but nonetheless, they offer Judge $410 million over 10 years. Reports that the San Francisco Giants were willing to go there as well, but all in all, after the John Heyman tweet, it must have set off alarm bells to the New York Yankees. Like, well, if this is true, we're either going to look real stupid when we lowball this guy and then he hits 62 home runs and we let him walk. The potential captain, you're going to let him walk. To, I know they're upstart teams, but two lesser franchises in the Giants and Padres, they're like, nope, we got to add an extra year. We go 9 years and then we go, I still can't believe this, 360. And I'm actually kind of surprised, coming off the season he just had, that he's not getting more.
The Padres wanted him to get more.
Yeah, I mean, a little more, though, because right now, what's this annual value? It's $40 million per year. So 410 over 10, that's 41. So I thought, especially after the Trey Turner deal with the Phillies, he would have been pushing 50. Obviously, it's already a historic deal. I know that's unprecedented. Maybe I'm a hot take artist for saying that, but this is what it is. 9 years, 360 for Judge. And the first question I want to ask a series of questions, but good move by Hal Steinbrenner. Now, I know it's easy for, obviously, Yankee fans to say, yeah, but remember, this guy has been under fire for being, he's been called cheap, especially with the news of that Judge offer last year. He didn't want to up it. And then you go into the season with him betting on himself and then really cashing in. But he's been called cheap. But on the other side of that, you give him the deal now. How does this contract, like Nico, you said, how does this contract look 4, 5, 6 years from now when he's 35, 36 years old? How does it look? So I guess I'll come to you first, Ross. How do you feel about Hal Steinbrenner after today?
I think people will never like Hal Steinbrenner, and the reason is because even after this move, it's almost like, well, you kind of had to do this, right? You did what you were supposed to do. And listen, I think the first 4 years will be really good. The next 5, depending on the injury history, I don't love his last 3-4 years. I'm just, for some reason, I feel like he's going to struggle those last 3-4 years. And it's not because he's not going to hit home runs. He will. But I feel like his average might go down.
Well, it's what we talk about with baseball contracts. I've said it multiple times on the show where it's, I don't know quite what to compare it to. I had the comparison earlier, but I forgot it right now. But you're really paying long-term for the short-term, like, big-time value.
Yeah.
If you're the Yankees giving Aaron Judge this deal, and I know it's a lot more than what they originally wanted to give him, but you're really banking on the first 3-4 years of this deal while you still have Garrett Cole on a big money contract. You still have Giancarlo Stanton on a big money contract. I know those guys have kind of disappointed depending on who you talk to, but you have all those guys. You have, decent supporting pieces. I think the team has to make a lot more moves, which we'll also get to in a little bit. But you're banking on this guy being the captain, being the leader. He's going to have his number retired. He's going to have it in Monument Hall one day, like we know this with this deal. But you're really banking on, if you're the New York Yankees, winning a World Series within the next 4 or 5 years, I think. That's the sweet spot for the Yankees to win their first title since 2009. And this is a big step in doing it.
They haven't been close. They really haven't. If you really think about it.
Well, they've been ALCS before.
No. But they're bringing back the same team. It's very similar. So, and that team got swept by Houston. So I don't know how exactly they made full improvements. And they still could make improvements, but Houston's not afraid of them. And I still don't think they are. Even with losing Verlander, I don't think they're afraid of them.
No, they're definitely not. They definitely have a mental edge. I hate to say that, Yankee fans, but the Astros definitely have that edge. Even after 2017, they beat you. They go on to win the World Series. Obviously, 2019, you see them again. Still can't get it done. The news of the cheating allegations come out. You have another chance at them. Fair, all things considered, right? You still blow it. So if you're the Yankees, I guess in that sense, they haven't been close because they still have that hurdle to climb. And even with, we talk about the opposition that the Yankees have. Obviously, the Astros are number one, but think about it. That division is going to keep getting better. Specifically, the Blue Jays, in my opinion.
The Blue Jays are good.
Yeah.
Love the Blue Jays.
We know, Nico.
Big Blue Jays guy.
Yeah,
over here.
you are.
Yeah.
That's all we'll say on
Yeah, I can't let the people know where my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll keep it close to the vest, but the Blue Jays, yeah, and then you have the Mariners. Even they're going to be a nice, fun team. The American League, while the Yankees are kind of sitting by with the same roster, and I hate to be the Grinch for the New York Yankees right now, but I know you. This is a day of celebration for Yankees fans because even no matter how you feel about this deal, if you lose Aaron Judge, you're screwed. You're headed towards a rebuild.
But they never rebuild.
I know, but Ross, if you lose this guy, and in the fashion it happens.
I know, but the AL is not getting any easier. The Orioles are getting better.
Orioles too.
The Blue Jays are obviously very good. The Rays, I mean, no matter how poor their roster may look, they're always competitive. So it's not going to get much easier. It's going to get tough. And obviously Houston knows how to beat the Yankees. And, I don't think this team's that great, but Texas does spend money. So they're not good. I don't think they're good, but there's always that potential for Texas to finally be we got to remember, they're a team that a lot of people thought last year would be decent. Now they weren't. But I'm just saying, until that, I don't think that team's very good, by the way. I'm just saying because they're a team that spends a lot of money, I have to put them in the somewhat mix for at least a wild card contention in the September. Meaningful games. That doesn't mean they're going to get in. That just means they're going to be meaningful games.
All right, I get what you're saying.
But they're bad. They're bad.
But if every single thing works out for them, they're going to be.
They're going to be
very
500.
tough. Yeah, if DeGrom is healthy the entire year,
Which he's not.
No, you can go down the list and say
I just said they're bad. I'm not giving them any flowers. I'm just saying they do spend a lot of money. That's all.
Yeah, if everything breaks right for them, maybe they'll be
third place.
Yeah.
Listen, the Mariners and the Astros, it's their division. We saw that playoff matchup. It gave us everything we needed to really see to predict how that's going to go. That division is going to go next year. But Yankee fans, once again, 516-572-7440. I want to hear from you, your emotions and feelings on this Aaron Judge deal. 9 years, $360 million. Biggest contract ever signed by a position player. Free agent contract in MLB history. It's a good thing. They did what they had to do, but the Yankees, they've got some real decisions to make once this smoke clears. You're talking about what are they going to do at shortstop with the two young prospects and kind of Falefa. What are you going to do with Josh Donaldson?
Well, they won Volpe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they won. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to end up happening this season, but it could.
I think with the way the salary and the payroll and everything else is now, and Volpe's your number one prospect, so you're going to want to see that guy up. But then how do you shuffle the rest of the infield with, Josh Donaldson? He's making a lot of money, and I don't think he's going to be that good. I think he's kind of on the other – well, not kind of. He's on the other side of the hill.
No, Donaldson's done as a hitter.
So
I agree.
There's that. There's the starting rotation questions. I know Yankee fans had some mixed emotions on him, but Jameson Taillon's now a Cub. A Cub for 4 years, $68 million. Ross, if you had to predict what the Yankees were going to do, or actually, no, let me ask you this. What do you want to see this team do to improve the margins?
And probably move on from IKF.
Well, yeah. You can start there.
They need to move on from Donaldson. That's a fact. And maybe try to move Aaron Hicks. Those would be my three.
I love how you're just talking about guys you got to get rid of.
Well, those are dumps. They're salary dumps.
I know, but
you got to move them. That's holding your team back.
Those three, I'm not going to say they were just flat out horrible, all three of them. I know they all had their horrible moments.
Well, Hicks got hurt. Well, he has an injury history, but he's not very good.
Yeah, but when he was on the field even.
No, he's bad.
Very disappointing. Josh Donaldson.
He's bad. I'm not making excuses for him. I mean, that play in the outfield against the Rays, come on. That means he's gone.
Yeah, and speaking of fielding, poor fielding from Aaron Hicks, but great fielding by Josh Donaldson all season long, but he didn't hit. So,
yeah. Well, according to Aaron Boone, they're great defensive players. IKF is a great defender. Donaldson's outstanding.
But even the thing with IKF, that's the third name you said. You're playing him out of position.
I know.
And then he makes all these errors, and you're wondering, oh, he was such a great defender all these years.
He's fantastic.
Why is this happening?
Yeah.
You're playing him out of position. What do you expect? So, I agree with you. Those need to be the dumbs that the Yankees need to make. I don't know what deals they need to make. I would say maybe improve the bullpen, but what great bullpen arms do you really see out there right now? Not much. Like Clay Holmes going to be your closer.
Yeah.
As far as anybody else, I know they had injuries to deal with. Hopefully you get some of those guys back, but I feel like I'm just crapping on Yankees fans' big day. But let's keep it real. This is what they had to do. Now, what else are you going to do? Yeah, this is the New York Yankees.
They won't do anything.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't trust Cashman that much.
It's a sad franchise.
Cashman got the deal before Judge, by the way, which is funny in hindsight. But
that's true.
You're the New York Yankees, though. Like the Yankee way. Oh, what would George do? All this stuff they like to talk about. Like this team is still, like Ross said, I think it's far away from a World Series.
Yeah.
Like Ross said, to even get to the American League Championship Series this year is a big question. But we'll see what happens. But like I said, this is going to be the big story for the next couple of days in New York sports. Aaron Judge back with the New York Yankees. There's a lot of conversation. Maybe San Francisco, maybe San Diego, but all in all, maybe the New York Mets. Actually, no, let me ask that question before we move on. How surprised are we that the Mets weren't in on Aaron Judge like that?
Well, they never really were to start the season. They were, or to start the offseason, which is surprising. I don't know why they weren't.
I'm shocked by that.
Yeah. Who's calling the shots? Who do you think's making the decisions?
Your boy.
Epler?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's why. That's number one. Okay, and by the way, who do you think is signing guys like Katana and signing these other? Who's going to be signing maybe another pitcher or two? Who do you think is calling the shots?
Epler? Oh, that would be Uncle Steve, I think.
Okay, no, but not that. Steve's yeah, he signs these guys, but who do you think's making the player decisions?
Oh, Epler.
Yeah, their season's over.
No, stop. I know he had a bad trade deadline, but
yeah, I'm so mad at that because they should have improved. They still haven't improved anything, and they might make a trade. I hope they do. Yeah, that's the only way they can make a move.
You know what? Listen, every Mets fan was angry about that trade deadline, but the one silver lining, I guess, this was me, Mets fan, coping at the time. I was like, they're a lot better in the offseason than they are at the trade deadline. Like, Steve Cohen's going to have the money to spend. They have Verlander now?
Yeah, and then you got Katana, who was very good last year, so you got to give them that, but their lineup, come on. Like, really, you can't add one guy. I mean, they couldn't even get Cody Bellinger.
That's the...
Well, what's it called? They're in talks with Andrew Benintendi, right?
That would be great.
That'd be a nice pickup.
It's not quite the Yankee I wanted to steal from that team. If you're a Mets fan, I wanted somebody bigger, but Benintendi would be great.
Yeah, and also he's a good average hitter, and look, they were never in on Judge. Like they're never gonna get him, so I wouldn't lose sleep over it. I just don't know why they were never in on him. I mean, I guess if he was going to go back to New York, Judge, he was going to go to the Yankees. He was never going to go back he was never going to go to the Mets. The Mets could have given him $500 million. I don't know if he would have said yes to them. It was either Giants or Yankees.
All right, well, we're talking about hypotheticals. It's a done deal with Aaron Judge, but let's talk about what the Mets got going on in reality. Like we said, 2 years, $86 million for Verlander. They add Jose Quintana. Today, 2 years, $26 million. The big stat that I saw on that is he allowed 0.4 home run per inning, I think.
Per 9 innings.
Per 9 innings, sorry.
Yeah.
0.4 per inning.
That'd be pretty bad.
That'd be pretty bad. Per 9 innings, and you talk about the opposition that the Mets have in the NL East with the Braves, who hit a ton of home runs. The Phillies, who, rode the home run ball to the World Series and just signed Trey Turner. I think the Marlins are going to be much improved offensively. Like, you have the teams that have the power to really, if you don't keep the ball in the ballpark, like that was to trash Jacob deGrom. I was going to say not to trash Jacob deGrom on the way out, but I take pleasure in this now. The one issue with Jacob deGrom is that he gave up a lot of home runs last year. He gave up a lot of, not just home runs, bombs.
I remember. Look, I remember the game, and they actually won this game. So this was against the Pirates. So deGrom had 13 strikeouts in the first 5 innings, and then the 6th inning came around, 3-run homer, and now they won that game, but that can cost you in big games, and they were up 3-0 in that game, and the other game again up 3-0. Who did he give up 5 runs to? Oakland. How many losses did Oakland have? That's pretty bad.
That was kind of like the start of the collapse for me.
Yeah.
That's athletics like that.
Athletics, and then he had that start against the Braves. 3 home runs given up. So, yeah, he gives up home runs. Even against the Padres, he gave up a home run. I don't think DeGrom's going to work in Texas. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he'll love it there.
No, he'll be ass. Guaranteed.
The ball will be flying out of that ballpark.
Yeah.
We know that, so good luck over there, Jacob DeGrom. But back to the Mets. Speaking of starting pitching, they bring in Verlander, Quintana. Now they're still in on Japan's Kodai Senga, which I need. I need it. I looked into this guy a little more. I read a couple of athletic articles on him. I know his stats weren't as great as guys like Ohtani coming out and Darvish, but you look at this guy's stuff. If you bring him to the New York Mets, you're asking to be the third starter?
Yeah.
That's a perfect spot for him.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Hey, get ready for 2 Japanese pitchers. Him, Ohtani. They're going to trade for him one day, I think. I'm confident in that.
Ross said the silent part out loud. I think maybe not this season, unless the Angels are just flat out terrible and they're out of it. They might be out of it, but
You're gonna have to give up so much, though.
But I know. But think about this too. Even if like you're on the side of Nico, where you're like you have to give up the farm for Ohtani. Ohtani's a free agent, I think, in 2025.
Yeah, you wait.
Or 2024. And Soto's 2025.
I think it's after next year.
After next year.
Yeah.
Regardless of how it is, like I would love to just Steve Cohen got the money.
Yeah, wait till then. Don't. I don't want to lose Alvarez. That boy's the future.
Yeah, we would have to give up Alvarez. That's
Alvarez, Beatty.
And they're high. Listen.
You wouldn't give up Beatty for Ohtani.
Y'all take me
They
back
would have to.
No, I know, but I would make that trade 9 times out of 10. Trade Beatty for Ohtani.
No, but what sucks is that Alvarez is packaged with that. And I really like Alvarez.
You probably have to give up maybe Mauricio too.
Okay. You have Lindor for 9 more years.
All right, you're all in on Ohtani. I think.
Why not? You can think about it. You get Rafael Devers III. You have Ohtani here. I mean, Escobar's a free agent. He come off the books.
Right.
I mean, there's a spot for these guys.
Listen, within reason, and I know you have to give up a lot, but I would love Ohtani here. If he's somehow on this Mets team this year, I know the disappointment of last year, but that would wipe almost all of that away. Like you have not only just an ace pitcher, but that's finally the big bat the Mets have been looking for. Yeah. I know they weren't in on Judge, but the one glaring weakness with the New York Mets, the 101-win New York Mets, was that they didn't have that game-changing bat. Listen, if we're talking about A1 position players,
right?
I'll call Lindor and Alonso A2.
Yeah,
I'm not calling him A1. They didn't have that A1 guy like he's going to get intentionally walked every time in big spots.
Right.
Teams are terrified to pitch to them. The Mets didn't have that guy.
No, they didn't.
So if you slide Ohtani in there, I would love that. But
they have so much flexibility. Maybe not this offseason, but down the road they're going to. Because if you really think about like the contracts future-wise, like even Verlander, like if that doesn't work, you're not going to get killed for it a couple of years from now. It'll come off the books. Scherzer will come off the books. And now the issue is you have to sign your own. You have to sign guys like McNeil. You're going to have to sign Alonso soon. Those 2 guys are the must. Not to mention also, you have a lot of free agents after even this year. You're going to have Kanye's a free agent. He's off the books. Nimmo's a free agent right now. So you have Escobar as a free agent. And so you're going to be able to fill in spots. And by the way, I think McCann's gone. I think McCann's going to be they're going to cut him.
Yeah, listen, the Mets, they're right at the edge. Actually, they're going to go over the quote-unquote Steve Cohen tax.
Good.
So, yeah, I agree. Who cares? It's not my money. It's Uncle Steve's money, all right? So spend as much as you want. But to get under that, they're going to have to shed some salary. They're going to have to obviously get rid of McCann.
Yeah.
Going to have to ship out. I don't know what they want to do with Escobar. I know he had a good last couple of months of the season that really saved his stock with Mets fans, but he's kind of expendable to me.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to make tough decisions. I'd move him. I mean, I would move him in the sense that if you want to sign other players, then I think you have to do it. And hey, it opened up spots for Rafael Devers.
It's the second time he said Rafael Devers. You really want him in the
he's
Mets?
great.
I would love it too. I would love it too. We'll see what the Mets want to do. Obviously, we talked about the trade deadline last year. They didn't give up Alvarez. They didn't give up Beatty. They didn't give any of these guys. But I guess the silver lining is that there's still trade chips to play with this offseason and beyond. So we'll see what happens with the New York Mets. Apparently, they're still in on Brandon Nimmo. Maybe I might get killed for this in Metland, but is he kind of overhyped to anybody else?
Oh, he absolutely is overhyped. I think. I don't think he's worth the money.
It's just because he's homegrown.
Yeah. He's not worth that money that he's asking. I don't think. He's not a big power bat, that's for sure. They need that. And listen, he improved last year, no question. But I don't look at Nimmo as if you look at his metrics, he's not great coming in on the ball. He's improved, but he's not great at it. He's not a great power hitter. They need power. He's going to cost them a lot of money, and he's going to affect them from getting other pitchers. So, and this is a big one, injury history. Guy gets hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, he wasn't hurt. But I will say this, when Howie Rose said this once, Nimmo, this was in August when he was struggling a little bit. Maybe he was starting to run out of gas because he never played that many games before. Once I heard that, I'm like, you know what? I'd move on.
That's a good point. Before last season, his career high in games played was 140 in 2018. After that, 69 in 2019. The shortened season in 2020, 55 games. 92 games in 21, and then 151. Yeah. Obviously, in the contract year, he's going to push through it and play, but I don't know. That makes me feel better that you agree with me, Ross, because if I would have said that on Mets Twitter, they would have killed me. Like, I just don't. Brandon Nimmo's just like, he's a very nice player. Very nice player.
They have a lot of that, though. Exactly.
And I don't know what bat they can go out and get, but Brandon Nimmo, he's right there with. He's on that Marte, a tier below Lindor and Alonso. He's right on that Marte tier in terms of position players for the Mets for me. But if he leaves, are we really gonna cry and throw stuff around like that?
Well, they miss him running on walks to first base. That's why.
He's a real man.
He's not a real person. Why are you running to? You know what? No.
It's all about effort, Josh.
Yeah. Yo, he's a Little League coach's dream.
He is.
Brandon Nimmo. I think that's all I wanted to get to with the Mets. Obviously, okay, last point I want to make is Kodai Senga. I brought him up from Japan. Important to note that Senga and Katana have they share the same agency in Wasserman. So obviously they engineer the Katana deal. An agent's not gonna just take one of his prime clients out of the market to get his other guy contract. Like, that's not just how it works in business-wise. So I really think that reading the tea leaves, I know that's a big phrase in the baseball offseason now, reading the tea leaves, but reading the tea leaves, I think I see Kodai Senga becoming a New York Met, and that would be the Mets choosing to go quantity over quality with the rotation, which I think is it's a good plan, especially after losing Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, I mean, they might lose Bassett too, which
it's looking like that's going to be the case. Yeah,
man, that's. I mean, listen, Bassett was not very good down the stretch, so I guess I can't fault the Mets for not keeping him, because let's face it, he was bad against the Braves, he was bad against the Padres, so I can't really get mad at them for that. And listen, Buck likes this Senga, this Japanese pitcher, so I can't. Hey, look, Buck loves him. So will I, probably. So I'd bring him in.
Not a bad way to go with that line of thinking, Ross. But we do have a caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, you're on. Who are you? What you want to talk about?
Hey, what's going on? Dave from Nevada. How's everything?
What's up, Dave?
I was going to bring up a couple of quick points about baseball, where I think it's unfortunately going in a very bad direction. Next year, we're going to be playing with a balanced schedule. They've basically eliminated the rivalries that we seem to grow up on. Myself, a Yankee fan, whether it be Boston or, but again, as a Met fan, you folks, you like playing Philadelphia or another what you perceive as enemies like that. But the fact that you have a balanced schedule and everybody's going to be playing everybody else, on a regular basis, I think instead of having the divisions, the East, Central, and West, Baseball should basically go back to, and again, I'm an old geezer, go back to the old days. You should just simply have an American League and a National League, and have 15 teams in each, in the American League and 15 teams in the National League. Since again the rivalries are gone, you can again. It was fun in the old days when you would see your team ascend or descend. Unfortunately, maybe go from 6th place to 7th place, or 7th place to 6th place. It made it more interesting.
I agree with that, and thank you for the call, Dave. I agree with that. I think I don't usually agree with the old school type of takes, but I don't know. Interleague play was cool, but the fact that it's completely balanced out now, like, talk about Aaron Judge. If he would have gone to the San Francisco Giants, he would be playing at Yankee Stadium opening day. Why would the San Francisco Giants play at the Yankees opening day? Like, what sense would that make?
I mean, maybe they thought Judge would go to the Giants.
Yeah, that's obviously the line of thinking, but but even then, it's like, even take the players out of it. Like, how does that make sense? You would have the Yankees open the season against the Red Sox or the Mets against the Braves. Like, I don't know. I agree with Dave on that, but it's going to be a weird MLB season in terms of that. But listen, we got the offseason in full swing right now. I want to read off some other deals across Major League Baseball. I brought up Jameson Taillon, 4 years, $68 million to the Cubs. Wilson Contreras, the Mets could have had him at the trade deadline, but didn't. 5 years, $87.5 million to St. Louis. Former Met Taijuan Walker signs with the Phillies for 4 years, $72 million. I'm surprised he got that much.
Yeah, I'm not mad the Mets lost him for that money. I'm okay with it. When I first heard they lost him, I was like, but with the money that he got, I'm like, I'm okay with it. Yeah, they're not going to regret it.
And right now, the Mets have plenty of depth in the starting rotation, but Taijuan Walker does join Trey Turner in Philadelphia. Cody Bellinger, like we said, to the Cubs for 1 year, $17.5 million. I'm surprised he signed for that less.
Well, Bellinger, if you look at his average, he stinks. I mean, his average is brutal.
Yeah, but even then, it's like he still has the pedigree of a National League MVP.
That's true. No, listen, the Dodgers gave up on him. I mean, that's when that team gives up on you. There's usually a reason.
That's a good point. He's definitely on a prove-it deal. Maybe he can have a season like Aaron Judge betting on himself. We'll see.
I think, honestly, if he plays well and the Cubs are out of it, they'll move him.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And maybe it'll be the best thing for him depending on how he's playing and where the other teams are. But real quick, Andrew Heaney joining Jacob deGrom in Texas for 2 years, $25, and a guy I would have liked to see as a Met, Josh Bell, to Cleveland for 2 years. So he's over there in the American League. And before we move on from baseball, we do have another caller on WHPC Sports Talk. Caller, you're on. What you want to talk about?
Hi, this is Charlie from Flow Park.
What's up, Charlie?
I'm good. As a Yankee hater, I'm really happy about this Judge signing because now the Yankees have $100 million in 3 players, 2 of which are disasters, basically. And it just makes me happy they can't address their other needs. And I don't see them doing a whole lot in the next. And also, the guy, Judge, is 31. He's never going to have a year like that again. He has zero incentive now. So as Yankee haters, I think we all need to rejoice. I wanted to ask Ross what he thought about the DeGrom money.
I think it's ridiculous what he got. I think Texas is going to get screwed over because of it.
Oh, it's an insane, absurd, whatever word you want to use. But there has to be a reason why these franchises throw around this kind of money. My feeling is they have so much money, they don't know what to do with it. They have to show their fan base that they are trying to win. And even the most casual baseball fan knows that DeGrom has been, superhuman for the last 10 years. And I think that's what it's always been. We're trying to win. We're going to spend this crazy money because we have the money. And the franchises keep going up in value. And it doesn't make any economic sense except for the fact that they're making money. I can't, from a baseball sense, it's ridiculous. You agree?
No, you make a lot of great points, Charlie. First off, I just knew you were going to chime in today because you've been you've been saying that Judge contract that the Yankees were inevitably going to give out was going to wind up biting them. Yeah, so it's $360 million for 9 years. He's going to be 40 at the end of that deal. So
It's all ludicrous. It's all ludicrous, except that they make ridiculous money.
That's 100% true, and you bring out the inner Yankee hater in me right now because we're all saying the silent part out loud right now. Like and the thing with the baseball contracts, like you're talking about, baseball teams just bet on long-term money for short-term success, and the Yankees, the way they're constructed, I don't see that short-term success for them.
No,
sorry to rain on their parade, but I don't see it.
No, they have so many needs, and that makes me happy, though. It makes me happy. Anyway, what can you say? You realize, I'm 67 years old. When I became a Yankee fan, $100,000, and I was a Yankee fan, $100,000 was the top salary. $100,000. It's incredible. Bobby Mercer was the third Yankee to get $100,000. Third. Yogi Berra never got $100,000. So that's why I'm happy when these guys get the money, because they certainly got screwed for a long time. But it's all good. Look, you guys keep up the great work, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely, Charlie. Thank you for the call once again, man.
You got it.
Just knew he was going to chime in today. Like, it's what he's been saying. It's what the Yankees have on their hands right now. And another important note he made, Garrett Cole and Giancarlo Stanton. So the Yankees they're spending money, and again, they get the cheap label a lot, but they have spent money, but are you really spending it in the right places? Garrett Cole and Giancarlo Stanton are your big money deals?
Like big NL.
Yeah. No. I think the Mets, talk about Steve Cohen all you want, but they're spending their money a lot wiser with Verlander, with Lindor, who had a great season last year.
Yeah, the one thing you can say with Cohen is that when they lost the ground, they pivoted immediately.
Yeah.
And that's something that, listen, when the Wilpons were there for like a few years ago, they wouldn't have done that. I mean, they would not have done any of that. They would have just said, all right, we lost him. We'll just get Jameson Taillon, for an example, and that's it. Or they'll go out and get name an average pitcher at best. So you got to give them credit for that. I mean, Verlander's up there in age, but listen, it's only a couple of years, and he was great last year. He won the Cy Young. So, right. I mean, He was unbelievable, and listen, there's always going to be hiccups when it comes to injuries here and there, but I think you're going to see both of them pitch well, Scherzer and Verlander.
They're reunited, 10 years, prior to this year, the Verlander and Scherzer were pitching in the World Series.
Yeah, with Detroit. With
Detroit, so they're reunited once again, and it's good vibes with that, and I think the Mets, every indication they got more work to do, all right? But listen, we've talked a lot of baseball today. We were going to talk a lot more about this as we approach the weekend. But as usual, we are moving on to the State of the Giants report. We got Corey in the room, Ross in the room. Actually, no, y'all don't deserve the music this week. Y'all tied the Commanders, all right? So
hey, we didn't win. We didn't lose.
Our
we didn't
win. Cooked.
Whoa,
we are cooked.
At least Ross is realistic.
We're cooked. We're toast.
See, I love doing this segment on Wednesday.
Sorry.
I love doing this segment on Wednesday because y'all are always on the polar opposite side of like how to view the New York Giants, and it's the greatest thing. So Corey, he's taking the optimistic approach. They didn't lose the game. We called it a must-win game. So if you tie a must-win game, are you really happy about it?
No.
I mean, we still ahead of the Commanders. We're still in the playoffs.
For now, but that might not last because you got the 11-1 Philadelphia Eagles coming into town for the Week 15's game. Giants at 7-4-1. So let me ask you both, what's the confidence level in this team heading into this week? And I'm sure y'all will just agree and be on the same page.
Against the Eagles?
Yeah, against the Eagles.
They're probably going, just...
You can say the word. Really, it starts with an L. You can say it.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
What? I'm saying the Eagles going to come in there and do what they got to do and just...
Okay.
It's gonna be an easy night for them.
Okay.
It's gonna be easy. Now, I mean, unless
all right,
Saquon, I feel like can go off against their run defense. Hopefully, see how that works.
They've been so I think we got to retire the Eagles not being able to stop the run narrative a little bit because they did shut down Derrick Henry last week. I know it's not an overly impressive Titans offense, but
Derrick Henry, he has those moments where he has pure dominance, but then he has other moments where he's just like, I'm gonna just chill for today.
I think, I mean, the Eagles built a pretty good wall to open that game, and then he didn't really get it going after that. But Saquon Barkley, maybe it'll be a different story. I think he's the key. Like, you're gonna have to get that man rolling early if you want the Giants to have a chance in this
I think
game.
the one thing that's gonna help the Giants out is the fact that the Eagles have a lot of injuries on defense right now. You have Robert Quinn. I think he's out temporarily. You have Garner, who's out. You just have a couple of players out from their defense. So hopefully that might contribute to something. But we still don't have a receiving core, so
Season's over.
What about Odell Beckham, Corey? What about OBJ?
Let's take it. See, I didn't mention that part. See, we got Odell in the cut. Odell is still in the cut.
I knew I was going to get him going on that.
Especially when you got Dallas Cowboys. You got Dallas Cowboy players saying, and Jerry Jones like, we're not too sure. It's coming out rumors like we're not too sure if he's going to be able to be ready in January or be ready in time. I'm just like, come on now. And we ain't even discussed our visits with him yet. When do our visits come up? I believe our visits. I don't think. Did he take his?
He already did the visit.
Yeah.
Didn't go well.
How do you know it didn't go well?
Because I was the report that came out. Okay.
All right.
We'll see what happens on the Odell front. But Ross, before I move on to that, what what percentage are you giving the Giants to win this game on Sunday?
What is it like from like 1 to 100?
1 to 100.
Okay.
0.
2%.
2%. Oh,
It's a good number.
Ask me that question.
Okay, Corey, what percent are you giving the Giants to win on Sunday?
Getting about 35% chance to win.
35.
A 35% chance of winning.
Corey, like, you watch football?
Yes, I
Is
do.
that like you do?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Every day I got the Sunday ticket. I watch it every day. Look, I schedule my whole work schedule around Sunday football, Sunday and Monday football. I do not really work those days.
So, I meant to ask you this all week. How do you feel about Tyler Huntley leading the Ravens to victory on that last
You're
drive?
such an ass, yo. I
What did
knew
I do?
you were going to do this because now the QB win conversation is going to get brought up again. You just had to do it on a Wednesday. That's not
my plan, Nico.
My thing, if you really ask me about Tyler Huntley, I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just keep it a buck. Barely scraped by in that win, and neither him or Lamar Jackson had a great performance. I'm sorry, neither one of them had a good performance. Like literally, you was getting shut out by the Denver Broncos and Russ. You lucky Russ sucks as much as he does, or else that game would have actually been a blowout.
So Corey, what are your thoughts on the Denver Broncos defense?
I was just about to go there.
My thoughts on the Denver Broncos defense. They keep them in the game, and as far as their offense goes, their offense is what has the potential of losing them every single game.
You know what's crazy? Keeping them in the game is such an understatement for what that defense has done all season long. They are a Super Bowl caliber defense, and they have this.
Is legit.
They have this dangerous quarterback holding them back all season long. Like just score. Russell Wilson scored 20 points challenge.
Spicy.
It's all bad, and that's why I wanted to bring up the Broncos defense in terms of Lamar Jackson and Tyler Huntley. The difference being the Broncos defense game plans for Lamar Jackson. They were not expecting Tyler Huntley to come in and you can't adjust to that mid game and really have that much success. So he rushed.
Like I said,
you said what?
Tyler Huntley, Lamar, damn near the same play. Damn near the same play.
Yo.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
Nope.
I'm telling you, you can literally swap that on. You can literally swap that offense.
Don't egg him on.
You can literally swap that offense.
Pretend like he's not here.
I'm not telling the lies.
You're not.
You can literally swap Huntley and put him in the Greg Roman offense. He can run and he can pass. What attribute does he have that Lamar doesn't? I mean, what attribute does Lamar have that he doesn't?
You know what? Because I'm really trying to be on my meditation type timing. I'm not trying to get riled up on the show every day, so I'm gonna let that one sit for today, Corey. But Friday, if you say that again, if you say that blasphemy again,
I'm gonna say it every time.
Why? You're lying.
Show me what does Lamar have
All right.
that Tyler Huntley don't.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. I lost
hate the show so much.
I lost my train of thought.
It was like the Giants or something.
Oh yeah, the Giants or something. Yeah. So the Giants. These are the teams chasing them down in the NFC playoff picture. It's basically going to be 4 teams or 5 teams fighting for it.
Yeah.
You for real put my team on this list?
They're still mathematically
No.
alive, bro.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
If they win out, they're right there.
I don't want them to win out, Joshua. I'll be a very sad boy if they win out.
I'm just reporting the facts, bro.
I hate you.
They're 5 and 8. They're still alive.
Oh,
If they
Chris
win out.
Olave does not win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
You don't mean that.
I do mean that.
You're just being mean. You're just being mean.
I'm being mean.
Listen, okay, so the Packers are mathematically alive. I'm just reporting the facts, but in addition to that, the Commanders 7-5-1, the Seahawks at 7-5, the Lions. Watch out for the Lions at 5-7. They're on a roll, so they're the main teams chasing down the Giants for playoff seeding.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Giants' remaining schedule,
I see two wins coming our way.
what are those wins?
Commanders and the Colts.
All right. I know you never can predict playoff or divisional football, so you might get the.
Actually, wait a second. Time out. We might get 3. Because look.
Where's
The last game against the Eagles.
Last game against the Eagles.
when they rest all their starters and.
I mean,
Unfortunately, that's going to help the Giants.
Yeah.
Or they just get crapped on by second team. It's possible.
That would be hilarious.
It'd be great.
That would be. I would pay real money to see Ross's reaction
You hate my
live.
team. You really do.
I don't.
No, we don't hate
come
your
on.
team. We just hate how Corey reacts to your team.
Okay. Okay.
You know it's all love, Ross. I have nothing against the Giants.
Okay.
That's how you
Alright,
feel. That's how you feel, Josh.
The one thing I
Corey,
We've kept it 100 all season with you.
That's how you feel.
Corey, when you said the Giants were going to win 9 games in the offseason, right? Remember how mad I was at you?
But
They're headed that way, but now the discourse is different. If they were headed that way with a lot of talent, a lot of breakout players,
You know what?
we feel differently. But
and the injuries.
Josh,
Injuries
I
are
hope
bad.
Taysom Hill's your quarterback next year.
you don't mean that.
I do.
See, y'all just being mean to me because I'm pointing out facts. That's all y'all doing.
Thing I will.
That's all y'all
The
doing.
only thing I'm going to say is, I'd rather have a tie than how the Saints lost. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I had to say that.
He did it.
So
I mean, how am I wrong? 2 touchdown lead.
Because the way your team looks
You're
like
not
it's
wrong,
going,
Ross.
the way your team looks like it's
We're not
going.
going to yell today.
I had a question. The way your team looks like it's going, is Taysom Hill going to be running back 1, or is he going to be wide receiver number 2? Like, is he going to be wide receiver 2?
So trade his ass. Someone will take him.
No. He is the Saints.
He's our best player.
He is the Saints.
Exactly. Trade him.
Like Deion Sanders said, who ain't sweat? And Taysom Hill, who ain't the Saints? I'm the Saints right here. I'm everything. I'm your quarterback, your running back, your receiver. I'm your damn offense.
See, I'm a big football trash talker, so when my team is just flat out ass, it's not fun for me because I can't say anything in return.
I feel like Michael Thomas has more tweets than he has receptions this year.
Of course, he was. I was.
He been killing it on Twitter.
He has. Listen, I was live tweeting the Saints game, right? But my whole mood didn't even die when Tom Brady got that last touchdown. When I saw Michael Thomas on my timeline just saying stuff. Every time he says stuff, I'm just like, bro, you have a turf toe injury. You're talking about, I'm going to come back stronger. I'm like, bro, it's a toe injury. What are we talking about? Brian Robinson got shot twice. He's playing football.
What did they tell you?
It's a real man.
What did they tell you? He don't want to come back. He like, I'm gone.
He's going to be a Packer. Honestly,
really?
What?
Really?
What?
He is not going to be no damn Packer. That ship done sailed.
You know what? Since y'all are just trying to get me angry right now,
I'm like, why?
and I'm
What's that?
resisting.
Yo,
Jordan Love in a second for Michael Thomas.
Can I say why you?
I take that.
Why you trying to promote Michael Thomas? I think you should stick with Christian Watkins. I feel like Christian Watkins is going to be developed.
Yeah, one really good wide receiver. That's all we need.
Yeah, I did it with. Y'all did it with.
Look where that got us. NFC Championship.
Y'all did it with Adams for like
Look where that got
5-6 years.
Since y'all trying to clearly get me angry about my football team, it's time to make myself angry about my basketball team real quick. So,
Josh, nobody's trying to make you angry about your football team. Because like Deion Sanders said, nobody care about the Saints. Nobody care about the Saints this year. Who that? Who that said he gonna beat the Saints? Damn near everybody.
That's been the Giants for like the last 10 years.
You know, you take
Nobody
a
cares
look at
about
that
that.
about.
So true.
You have one little cute flaw
Nobody
flaw
cares.
winning season. Do you know there was a thing on Twitter earlier today? If all the the one score outcomes were reversed this year, the Giants would be 2-9-1. That's who you really trying to big up on me right now?
Well, we won, though.
But we won. But we win. But we just keep winning. Daniel Jones, he just gets us the win.
Shut up. Shut up. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking.
I know a Packer fan ain't talking.
Stop talking.
I know a Packer fan
I
not
hate this
talking.
man so much. He ruins football.
I gotta go,
for me.
LeVar. Stay in your lane. Stay in your losing
Bro, you were
lane.
sleeping 20 minutes ago. Stop. Jeez, I hope y'all make the playoffs and get blown out by like 100.
Oh,
Respectfully. We make the playoff.
Exactly.
And for what reason?
Because we're
Nah. You like Odell. You just like it on your
We're a
chest.
developing team.
Nah.
Now, once Roger done say, I'm going to Las Vegas, and y'all stuck with Jordan Love, y'all gonna enjoy.
That's fine.
Y'all gonna enjoy y'all irrelevancy for the next 10 to 6 years.
You know about relevancy for 10 years.
Not wrong. One little winning season maybe for the New York Giants. Maybe, because it's still up in the air with the schedule. Yeah, and you gotta. The Saints have one down year. It's nobody cares about the Saints. Nobody cares about the Saints. You know what?
Nobody care about the Saints. They ain't care about them when they had all that bad luck and they ain't make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, whatever.
Y'all supposed to be in the Super Bowl like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Enjoy your little 7-8-1 season, Corey. 8-8-1. Sorry,
like
8-8-1.
Yo, that hit was legal. That hit was not legal. So they said the Rams, y'all could go on. Minnesota, it gave y'all the miracle. Y'all can go on. Saints, y'all ain't got no damn luck.
You know what? I hope Saquon Barkley is about to catch a game-winning touchdown in the playoffs. Actually, not even in the playoffs. Against the Eagles' second team, their B team, gets tackled midair, and then there's no flag, and then y'all crying about the no call all season long. I want to see that.
I hope Taysom Hill runs a slant and catches a pass, and he drops it. Oh, wait, that shit already happened.
You know what? On that note, let's move it. Let's keep it putting to the New York Knicks.
That's crazy.
Josh, you done got me out of character.
You got me out of character, bro. You got me out of character.
That's abuse of power, Josh.
Man, listen, I'm just chilling, bro. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing nothing. So the New York Knicks, right? I'm not going to say what I wrote on the topic sheet, but they are a very dumb organization. They have no idea what they're doing. They are a team that should be committing to a rebuild, and instead of committing to a rebuild and playing all your young talent,
they're trying to get rid of them.
Guess who we're throwing in trades? Emmanuel Quickly and Cam Reddish. Come on down to the trade block.
To get rid of Evan Fournier.
I don't know why you're so angry about them anymore. I just don't like. They're so unwatchable.
Don't let the radio performance fool you. I could care less about this team at this point.
Oh,
but
okay.
Cam Reddish,
I don't understand. I don't understand.
But okay, again, I'm gonna say what Gio says on the fan, I guess.
Yeah.
Until they tell me what direction they're going in, wake me up when that happens. They're, to me, the next door neighbor that is not part of my life. That is the New York Knicks. That's a fact. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's not my fault. It's them. It's their fault.
I still have faith that they could be a ninth AC playing type team. That's my hope.
I've been to one game since Melo left. Let that sink in. And they lost that game. So
actually, I was at me too, because I went maybe a year or two ago, and they lost.
Well, I guess some fans would be happy with a 9th seed, 10th seed. Okay, you're not going to be in the running for.
I'm realistic when it comes to the Knicks.
No, because you're right. That's where they're going to wind up. But that's your hope, bro. Like,
it ain't my hope. That's where That's where they're going to win.
So they're 9th in the East right now. They're actually.
Wait a second, time out.
Yeah.
I'm my correction. They'll be lucky to get that 9th and 8th seed.
The way it's going right now, and I know they had a tough schedule to start out, but. Yeah, you're 11 and 13. You're in the 9th place. The Hawks are 13 and 11. They're 4th. So you're actually, if you're the next 2 games out of the 4th seed.
RJ not looking like that guy.
Yay. He's not. If you look at it in hindsight, he's never really been that guy.
Why we can't get lucky in the draft?
We never develop our players, I guess. That's
because curse of MSG, really.
No,
it's the curse of MSG.
No, because I'm not gonna go with we don't develop our talent like that.
They don't,
because we don't get lucky. We don't get a Anthony Edwards. We don't get a damn Ja Morant. We don't get Zion Williams. We don't even get a LaMelo Ball. How did Charlotte get that?
if John Moran was a Knick, you know he's a bust, or at least not as good as he is.
No, I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far, but
you know that.
No,
I can't say that.
I can't say that, but I think what Ross is speaking to more so is that we don't know with a lot more minutes what Obi Toppin could be, what Quickly could be, what Cam Reddish could be, what Quentin Grimes could be, what Jericho Sims could be, what Deuce McBride could be. All these young players on the New York Knicks right now, you just have to be so committed to Julius Randle, and I like Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson, Mitchell Robinson, take minutes away from the next Robert Williams and Jericho Sims. Just, let's roll with that. There's no, and Ross, you say, tell me a direction. They can't even tell you. If they told you, they'd be lying through their teeth.
Okay, but then why bother watching then if they don't?
Because that's your team when that's sports.
Because I have to do it for WHPC Sports.
Everyone's secretly a masochist and just wants to get hurt. Every day.
My team suck.
You gotta put that T. You gotta put the Toronto.
My Rangers suck.
That's
The Rangers suck. Rangers suck balls. It's really bad. The gargling it lately. It's rough.
It's bad too because like you wear the Rangers hat today. Tomorrow I'll probably be wearing a Knicks hat.
Yeah,
Win or lose.
yeah.
It's just what can you say? Especially the teams in the Garden. Just
it's
bad, ugly head coaches.
Emphasis on ugly.
Rough.
If I describe Tom Thibodeau as an angry Harry Toner, how do you describe Gerard Gallant?
Like a troll doll, but like a homeless one with no hair.
It's hard. With
no hair.
No hair.
It's hard being a New York sports fan in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only team that the real team that the team that looks like it has like the most promise, and I'm not talking about the Buffalo Bills because I do not count them as New York. It's the Jets. I like how the Jets are moving. As far as the team, because be honest, they should have won that game against the Vikings.
Well, they're the one bright spot until they inevitably go back to Zach Wilson, some people are saying.
No, they won't.
I hope they won't.
They can't.
They can't.
It'd be really stupid if they did.
And they will.
They can't.
Barry Trotz, Rangers coach.
Bro,
Please.
I don't want him.
Why? He won a cup. Has Gallant won anything?
No, I don't want Gallant either. I really don't know what the answer is to this team. Just put the right players out there on the right lines. And don't put Kako and Lafreniere on the third line every night. And maybe, just maybe, we might be good.
Trade Panarin.
No, okay.
Please.
Ross is getting outlandish now.
Please, hold up. I want him out.
No, you don't. No, you don't. He's the best player on the team. No, you don't want that.
Hey, it's a lot of pain in New York sports right now, but shout out to Yankees fans for one day they signed Aaron Judge to that mega deal, which will look good for 4 years and then flame out. Oh, I'm sorry, that slipped out. I didn't mean to be. Anyway,
you're not wrong.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're not wrong there. We will call it a show there from Nico Weech, Corey David.
We do not do what was the last thing, like the last topic, or we don't do like what's on your mind anymore.
No, because no one wants to know what's on your mind, Corey. Respectfully, you're just saying outlandish things lately, and we don't need it.
From Nico Weech, Corey David. Ross Levine, I am Joshua Umahi, thanking you once again for listening to the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
The views expressed on air are not necessarily those of WHPC,